A to Z Mysteries, Book Number 18, The Runaway Racehorse, by Roy. Chapter 7. Well, he tried, Uncle Warden said, laying his hand on Forrest's shoulder. I know I can't expect Runaway to win every race, Forrest agreed, but he's never run this poorly. Can we go see him? Dink asked. Sure, Forrest said, checking his watch. Meet us back here in about 15 minutes, okay? The kids clambered down the grandstand steps and ran toward the barns. They entered Barn E and walked past curious horses peering from stalls. There's Runaway, Josh said, pointing. The horse, slick with sweat, was tied outside stall 21. Sonny was wiping him down with towels. Sonny looked up and nodded at the kids. I'm sorry you didn't win, Ruth Rose said. Not as sorry as I am, Sonny muttered. Her outfit was filthy. She had removed her helmet and her hair hung down, damp and straggly. Where her goggles had been, her face was clean. The rest was smeared with sweat and check grime. Her once shiny black boots were now brown with dust. Sonny knelt down and began unwinding the tape from Runaway's legs. The tape was grimy. Sonny shook her head as she worked. Runaway was running like a different horse, she said. She walked away to find a trash can for the soiled tapes, leaving Runaway tied to his stall. Maybe Runaway was just tired, Dink said. Maybe, Ruth Rose agreed. But jockeys can make horses go slower. Josh looked at Ruth Rose. You think Sonny made Runaway lose the race? Ruth Rose shrugged. I don't know. Sonny came back and untied Runaway. She had to tug him up the ramp. He rolled his eyes as she walked him into the trailer. Sonny closed and latched the trailer door. Without saying a word, she climbed into the cab and drove away. Something weird is definitely going on between Runaway and Sonny, Ruth Rose said. Runaway might just be having a bad day, Dink said. Ruth Rose looked at her watch. We'd better get back, she said. They started walking toward the viewing stands. Dink noticed a small group of people gathered around a dark horse and its rider. There's the winner, he said. Yeah, Dancer, said Josh. I want to get a picture, Ruth Rose said. The kids walked the winner's circle. They wiggled through the crowd until they were standing next to Dancer. Dancer's chest and legs were sweaty. The white tape that covered his ankles was dirty. The jockey was dirty too. He smiled as people took pictures. A man wearing a cowboy hat and dark glasses reached up and shook the jockey's hand. Well done, Andy, he said. Piece of cake, Mr. B, the jockey answered. Guys, move closer, Ruth Rose said. I want to get a picture of you and Dancer. Dink and Josh stepped over and stood in front of Dancer. Josh giggled when the horse butted him gently in the back. The jockey flicked the reins, and Dancer put his head between Dink's and Josh's shoulders. Ruth Rose snapped the picture. Her camera made a whirring noise, letting her know that the roll of film had run out. Dink looked at his watch. Come on, guys. They're waiting for us. They hurried away and found Forrest and Uncle Warden in the viewing box. How does Runaway look? Forrest asked. Tired, Josh said. Sonny loaded him and they took off. I guess we'd better leave too, Forrest said. They headed for the parking lot. Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose walked behind Forrest and Uncle Warden. Ruth Rose held up her camera. I can't wait to get my film developed, she whispered. I think that last picture is a big clue. Chapter 8. Maybe Runaway is sick, Uncle Warden suggested on the way back. Forrest nodded. I'll call the vet and get him to come over, he said. The kids sat in back. Josh slept against his pillow with his mouth open. Next to him, Ruth Rose read Learning to Ride. Dink's book was on his lap. He gazed out the window, watching the scenery flash by. The hum of the car's tires made him feel sleepy. His eyes closed. The next thing Dink heard was his uncle's voice saying, "Almost home, kids." Dink opened his eyes, blinked, and looked out the window. He recognized the shops just before Forrest's driveway. "There's a photo place," Ruth Rose said. "Can we stop, Forrest?" "Sure thing," Forrest said. He pulled up in front of the small shop. A cheerful sign in the window said, "Photo finish, 1 hour." Ruth Rose hopped out and ran inside. She was back a minute later. "I got more film," she said. Josh sat up and looked around. "Where are we?" he asked. Dink poked his finger at the back of Josh's shirt. "Josh, there's a black smear on your collar." Josh twisted his shirt around and stretched out the collar. "Yuck," he said. "Where did that come from?" "Maybe it's mud from Runaway yesterday," Dink suggested. "Dink," Josh said, "I changed my shirt after we washed him." "Could you have leaned against wet paint or something at Saratoga?" Ruth Rose asked. Josh thought for a second. "I don't think so," he said. "And if I had, there'd be more than just a mark on my collar." He shrugged. Forrest made the turn into his driveway, and a minute later they were home. "I've got to change my shirt," Josh said when they had all climbed out of the car. "No, let's go see if Sunny and Whirlaway are back yet," Ruth Rose said. She gave Dink and Josh a look. "Great," Forrest said. "I'll see if I can get the vet on the phone." Uncle Warden took Josh's pillow and the books. Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose headed for the barn. The stall was empty, and Sunny was nowhere to be seen. "Okay, what's up?" Josh asked Ruth Rose. They sat on hay bales. "You know that picture I took of you guys with Dancer?" Ruth Rose asked. "Well, I think someone else was in it. Mr. Bunks." Both boys looked blank. "The man in the sunglasses and cowboy hat was Mr. Bunks," Ruth Rose said. "Are you sure?" Dink asked. "I thought that guy was the horse's owner." "I think I recognized his big belt buckle from yesterday," Ruth Rose said. "I took a picture so we could be sure." "Well, if it was him, why didn't Mr. Bunks tell Forrest that he was going to be at Saratoga too?" Dink asked. "That's what I want to know," Ruth Rose said. "And why did he say he was out of the racing business?" "Maybe Mr. Bunks doesn't own Dancer," Josh said. "He might have been there like us, just to see the winner up close." "But he and the jockey knew each other," Ruth Rose said. Dink nodded. "If that was Mr. Bunks at Saratoga," he said, "he is definitely hiding something.